Hello, welcome to Holistic HR Hub. In this learning episode, we are going to take a look at the concept of HR analytics. What is HR analytics? We are only going to look at the basics of HR analytics. Actually, the purpose of people analytics or HR analytics is to help the business to discover the strategic areas where it can gain competitive advantage, which is important for the business. The concept of analytics has been in existence since 1800s during F.W. Taylor when he did the first study at iron factory for the iron workers. Of late, HR analytics has become an imperative rather than a good to have competency. The purpose of analytics is to drive a data driven culture in the organization to enable decision making based on reliable data. First, we should identify a problem and we should make a business case for it. And based on that, we'll have to present it to the management and get management's buy in before doing the analytics. This analytics helps to basically improve the productivity, performance, profits of the organization. It also helps to reduce turnover. I would like to give a few classic examples, real world examples, where analytics, HR analytics has been used and the companies have gained competitive advantage or have avoided losses or have made profits or have actually clocked sales. The first one is with respect to the hospitals. Imagine in today's healthcare industry, we should have our paramedical staff or the nurses, we should keep them happy. If they are not happy, the customers will not be happy. The customers here are the patients. So we should see whether the employees in the hospitals are happy, thereby they can serve the customers, the patients happily. So in the healthcare industry, we can apply this analytics. We can take two variables, the happiness quotient of the employees and the customer satisfaction. Then moving on to this example of a bank situated in Canada, which has many retail branches spread throughout Canada. A major fraud occurred, so the bank was actually unable to identify why this fraud was happening. So they collected various data based on employee demographics, different tenure of employees, and which location they were, and why this fraud is happening, etc. But finally, with the help of analytics, they could figure out this fraud was happening in remote branches where the distance between the supervisor traveling to the supervisors travel into the branch is very far away, and therefore the bank could figure out the supervisors not were not visiting these branches frequently, and the this theft was happening very frequently. And finally, they solved this problem by rotating the supervisors frequently to visit the remote branches and reduced the theft to zero. This is a real time example. And the third example which I would like to give is organization which is into the food industry, to the cafeteria business, which serves food to many industries worldwide. Generally, their orders are for 3 years, 5 years. That is their tenure of their contract. But they were losing some major orders. They could not find out why they were losing those major orders, major contracts, especially the renewals. Then they identified with the help of analytics. Basically, because of certain incidents which occurred in the cafeteria, they were losing their orders, which means they had to focus on workplace safety. So they started focus on workplace safely and started reducing the incidents or accidents in the factory or the office where the cafeteria is situated, and therefore they could get bring back the businesses lost. So they focused on workplace safety. So here's a correlation between workplace safety and the number of businesses lost with respect to this cafeteria business. Now moving on, Most of the organization take decision based on gut feeling, so there's an element of bias in that. Based on intuition they take decisions, and the decisions are bound to go wrong, and therefore one should use accurate, reliable data to take strong decisions. So data collection, where if you identify a problem, the majority of the time should be devoted to data collection, where 70% of the time will go to data collection. The data should be accurate, clean, complete, reliable, and should be high quality data, trusted data. We should not only collect the data. The person who's doing the analytics, maybe in big organization there will be different people, one person handling a recruitment data, one person handling a learning data, one person handling a performance management data, but all have to work together in synchronization. The data has to be integrated. We should try to make sense of the data. It is not about having the data. We should try to make sense of the data, what to do with the data, and what are the important business levers, and what are the business important HR levers, and how to integrate the business metrics with HR metrics, whereby we can improve the productivity, performance, profit, reduce turnover, or increase the sales, etc. Now, moving on, let us see some of the tools and platforms which are commonly available for HR analytics. The most common tool which we are all using day to day is MS Excel. So it has a lot of statistical formulas, from simple regression to multiple linear regression, correlation, etc. We can make use of that. It is very simple. Then many organizations will have their own HRM system, their learning management system, their applicant tracking system, their payroll system. Whatever the system the organization has, the data should be accurate. The data, we should have many reports. The data should be easy to import, and with the help of that we can do some analytics. Basically, the HR system which we are having should have multiple reports and should be easy to handle, and we should be able to retrieve the data. It should be easy to import. And some statistical tools with respect to analytics, HR analytics, are one is statistical package for social sciences. So this is a statistical software acquired by IBM in the year 2009. So it helps us with the descriptive part of analytics. Then the MS Excel, there are many statistical formulas as discussed. Then there is another software, statistical software suite developed by SAS Institute, the North Carolina University, between the year 1966 and 1976. In those years itself, it's called as the SAS, Statistical Analysis System. Then it is important to present the data. If we present the data with all these statistics, it will be boring and nobody will understand, will not spend time. It will be complicated, it will be complex. And therefore, there's a visualization tool where you can represent your data with charts, graphs, heat maps, etc. That tool is called Tableau. Then we move on to the next generation BOB, or best of breed tools, sophisticated visualization tool. So there are many tools, but I have given examples of a couple of tools. First one is Glint. This is an employee engagement tool to gather the pulse of the employees. There is an automated correlation available in that. It is owned by LinkedIn. There is another Canadian company which is called Vizier. So this tool helps basically in succession planning, performance management system, learning management system, who can be promoted internally, who's going to resign next, and what is our hiring efficiency. So these are some of the next generation best of breed tools available in the market. So with this, I'm concluding this learning episode on introduction to HR analytics. And during this season, we will be seeing a series of videos related to HR analytics. Thanks for patient listening. With this, I'm concluding this learning episode. Thank you.